headlines. Surrendered insurgents beg Nigerians for forgiveness. 26-year-old man dogged for alleged breach of peace in Ogun. And on the foreign scene, Prince Andrew sued in New York court for alleged sex abuse. And in sports news, Lionel Messi reaches agreement on move to PSG. Hello and welcome to TrustTV News Update. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for joining. Here's the news in details. Members of the Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa Province ISWAP terrorist groups who recently surrendered to the Nigerian army in the north have begged Nigerians to forgive them of their activities as terrorists. During the reception ceremony, some of the top commanders of the terrorist group displayed placards soliciting forgiveness from Nigerians. In a statement issued by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, the surrendered terrorists and their families numbered 335 fighters, 746 adult women and children, including one of the abducted Chibok girls. According to the statement, the acting GOC 7th Division and Commander Sector 1 Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Abdul Wahab Adelokun Eyitayo, received the repentant terrorists at the headquarters 21 Special Armored Brigade Bama in Borno State. Meanwhile, to ease the burden of traveling to and from the theater of operations for troops of the Nigerian military, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, on Monday launched a special flight for troops of Operation Hadinkai. Performing the ceremony at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Maiduguri, Yahaya reassured troops of his commitment to their welfare. The report. That into the aircraft. One after another, their names are cross-checked, searched, and their luggage loaded into the aircraft. The burden of traveling long hours to the theater of operations has been lifted, as this special flight will convey troops on operations and those on pass to their destinations at least twice every month. The morale of troops fighting the insurgents is critical to winning the war, and this, for the Chief of Army Staff, is a booster.
We are making headway and we are achieving results.
According to Yahaya, the decision of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Amao, to provide the Nigerian Air Force Charlie 130 aircraft to airlift troops was informed by the strengthened synergy between the services. The Army Chief urged members of the Boko Haram ISWAP to surrender and choose the path of peace.
Already you can see we are getting there in droves, surrendering already. And we urge them to continue to surrender and lay down their arms and to the line of peace. Line of peace is the way. If they fail, we will get them, we'll get to them.
The welfare flight has been scheduled to cover 3 main hubs, namely Lagos, Abuja, and Maiduguri. Personnel of other security agencies as well as civilian staff of the Armed Forces of Nigeria will also benefit from the arrangement when on pass from Maiduguri to other parts of the country. The Kaduna State government has ordered public and private primary and secondary schools to remain closed. This move aims to curtail the security situation in the state. The state's Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said the state government was advised to take the decision by security operatives. Commissioner of Education, Malam Shehu Usman Muhammad, revealed that the ministry is waiting for directorial council before reopening learning institutions.
Conscious of security of life and property, and as we speak, the military, the police, and other security agencies are still carrying out operation against bandits across the states. This is basically what led to the decision of the government to hold resumption. Government will not tolerate a situation where lives of our students, pupils, teachers, and other critical stakeholders in the education sector to be put in danger.
Today is 9th August 2021. We plan to open our school today after the 3 weeks break that we gave our students. And before we resume, we decided to contact the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Internal Security and Home Affairs, whether we should go ahead, whether our schools are safe enough to be open. This natural is more professional for us to do that. And from the responses we got from the ministry, we found out that we cannot open our school today. We decided to extend this leave for some time or until when we are advised professionally to open.
Now, Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong says he is committed to supporting and strengthening security agencies in the state by providing them with logistics and equipment to enable them to perform better. Lalong stated this during the inauguration of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Special Female Squad, Rapid Response Squad and Arms Squad at Rangpam Stadium, Jos. Represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Aladi Atu, the governor expressed sadness over the recent security challenges in some local government areas in the state. He said all security agencies should step up their operations to smoke out all militia groups from their operational base. He urged the NSCDC to deploy the trained personnel to critical areas to enable them to confront criminals that are threatening the peace and security of the people. Now, a 26-year-old man, Tohi Bolaji, was on Tuesday arraigned before an Ota magistrate court in Ogun for alleged breach of peace. The police charged Bolaji, whose address was not provided, on a 2-count charge of breach of peace and assault. The police prosecutor, Inspector E.O. Adaraloe, told the court that the defendant and others still at large committed the offences on 2nd August at about 1:15 p.m. at Orita bus stop, Ota, Ogun State. He said the defendant also assaulted one Fashanu Solomon with cutlass, which caused him permanent injury in his eye. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to the 2-count charge. The magistrate, A.O. Adeyemi, admitted the defendant to bail in the sum of 50,000 naira with 2 sureties in like sum. Now, Nigeria's foreign ministry has revealed that the Indonesian government has apologized over an assault on a Nigerian diplomatic officer by immigration officials on Saturday, August 7th. The incident was described as unfortunate, adding that Indonesian immigration officials have apologized to the victim. The ministry further said that the ambassador of Nigeria to Indonesia has confirmed that the immigration official involved had since come to the Nigerian embassy to apologize to the ambassador and the diplomat concerned. The chief missioner, Narul Lahil Fati Society, NASFAT, Imam Abdulaziz Onike, has urged Nigerians to cooperate with federal government toward addressing the insecurity and other vices facing the country. Onike, in the statement made available on Tuesday, said Nigerians should collectively fight the common enemies who are putting the country's peace and security in jeopardy. He also urged Nigerians not to live in denial of the existence of the Delta variant of the dreaded COVID-19 in the country. He urged Nigerians, particularly Muslims, to remain optimistic and put their trust in God. You're watching TrustTV News Update, and coming up after the break, residents of Nasarawa State call for government intervention on ANTAU bridge collapse. Please stay with us for more.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the TrustTV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search TrustTV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. TrustTV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Thanks for staying with us. Now you're watching Trust TV News Update. Let's have another look at some of our top stories. Members of the Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa Province terrorist groups who recently surrendered to the Nigerian army in the north have begged Nigerians for forgiveness. Plus, Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong says he is committed to supporting and strengthening security agencies in the state by providing them with logistics and equipment to enable them to perform better. Still in the news, the impact of this year's flood is overwhelming residents of Nasarawa State as the worst-hit areas are within Kefi, where torrential downpour accompanied by strong winds and furious floods wreaked havoc. One of the structures affected is the ancient ANTAU River Bridge connecting Kefi-Akwanga Road to the main town. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu was there and now reports.
Although the Ministry of Water Resources and Rural Development had earlier raised an alarm that Nigerians should expect more floods in 2021, but how prepared can the people of Kefi in Nasarawa State really be when it comes to the occurrence of natural disasters like flood?
Communities located close to riverbanks are usually prone to flood whenever the torrential downpour hits. ANTAU Bridge connecting communities in Kefi is also left in ruins as the rainy season began since July. It recorded a worst hit which has left motorists plying the bridge to face traffic jam while maintaining an accessible portion of the bridge. Some residents in the area lament effects of the poor condition of the ancient bridge.
This bridge used to be our major entrance. Those of us living at this other axis of the town, major pathway to our office. Sometimes now we go late because we have to queue for hours to allow those that are coming from the other side. It's a one-lane bridge now we are using for those to pass before we go.
I've been in Kefi for like 6-7 years now. This is the old famous, bridge in Kefi, right from the colonial period. So the recent flood that happened, at least, that is the result of what you are seeing here now. It's not really easy as a motorist passing here. You see the traffic guys, we have to wait for the other lane to be cleared before we move. So it was not easy to get to this place.
They, however, called on the government to come to their aid and swing into action of repairing the bridge swiftly.
As you can see, a lot of damages have been made here. So we are just seeking and hoping that government will just do something about it.
We hardly get to school on time, and what we want the government is that they should come and help us and repair the bridge.
I'm calling the government to us to do is that to repair the bridge so that we can go to school early, stop us from going to school late.
There's only one remedy. The government, whilst we appreciate their efforts, they will not always be everywhere. But this is one of the vital aspects. I mean, the routes connecting the main town, Kefi town, to the larger community. So I think government should really come in and get this bridge fixed.
The ancient ANTAU Bridge connecting Kefi town and some other communities in this area has been brought to ruins for some weeks now due to the flooding that happened in this area. Residents say the bridge is no longer safe for vehicular movement as it has become scary due to what the flood has done to the bridge, and they call on government for quick intervention.
Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Kefi.
Now in business news, some Nigerian farmers are worried that government's intervention in agriculture hardly gets to the genuine farmers. The farmers observed loans intended for them end up getting to what they call portfolio farmers. TrustTV correspondent Gaza Yakubu, who has been following farming activities, tells us more.
Agriculture in Nigeria is rising again. The National Bureau of Statistics shows that the most viable contributing sector to the Nigerian economy in the first quarter of 2021 is agriculture. Even with this, the growth has been attributed largely to smallholders farmers increasing their crop areas.
I mean, it was in the news that 1.5 trillion naira was actually disbursed to smallholder farmers by end of April. And I'm asking the question, which farmers did you give 1.5 trillion? Because I know that if you spend 1.5 trillion naira in Nigerian agricultural system properly, would be different.
Some farmers, however, said that government loans and intervention are not trickling down to genuine farmers. They observe that, consequently, agriculture is not playing the expected role of increasing productivity and stimulating growth in the economy as a whole.
Government need to be partner. They need to partner with farmers. If you see facility now, we know where to channel the money to. But our problem is still embedded on government deal with portfolio farmers. We call them portfolio farmers. They don't know. As I'm talking to you now, I'll give them a proposal, come with a proposal, and they approach bank with facility. Bank will give them. They use our idea to penetrate the market. At the end of the day, they have a stopgap. They will surely have it over because it's not their profession.
The commitment of personal resources is not recompensing. Hence, the slow development of the sector. Amidst other problems are local farmers accessing tractors and fertilizers to yield more produce. It is locally done. Nigeria has a highly diversified agro-economical condition which makes possible the production of a wide range of agricultural commodity. It could be a source of employment to many Nigerians roaming the street. Gaza Yakubu, TrustTV News, Abuja.
Now, the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has announced the promotion and redeployment of some staff to fill key vacant positions in the corporation. The corporation made this known in a statement by its spokesperson, Dr. Kenny Obateru, in Abuja. It stated that the appointment and redeployments are to strengthen and reposition the NNPC towards attaining global excellence and profitability. According to the statement, Garba Muhammad has been appointed to take over from Obateru as the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division. He said that this was in preparation for the new status of the corporation as a limited liability company post-Petroleum Industry Bill. Now on the foreign scene, Queen Elizabeth II's son, Prince Andrew, is sued in a New York court for alleged sexual abuse of a woman who says she was lent out for underage sex by late U.S. financier Jeffrey Epstein. The filing at the U.S. District Court in Manhattan said the Virginia Giuffre was the plaintiff in the case against the defendant named as Prince Andrew, Duke of York. According to the complaint, Giuffre said Andrew sexually abused her at the London home of socialite Ghislaine Maxwell more than 20 years ago when she was under 18. Andrew, 61, has vehemently denied claims he had sex with Giuffre and said he has no recollection of meeting her, but the allegations threaten to damage the British royal family. A South African court has postponed a long-delayed corruption trial against former President Jacob Zuma to September 9th following his hospitalization. High Court Judge Piet Coyne granted the postponement and ordered Zuma's team to produce a medical report by August 20th and for the state to appoint a medical doctor to assess whether Zuma was fit to stand trial. He was expected to appear at the High Court on Tuesday on a $2 billion arms deal corruption case that led to his sack as South Africa's deputy president in 2005. Zuma is serving a 15-month sentence at Escort prison in his home province of KwaZulu-Natal after he failed to heed a court order to attend an inquiry in corruption during his time as president. And in sports news, Lionel Messi has reached an agreement with PSG over a transfer to the French soccer club. According to reports, he was due to arrive in Paris in the coming hours. The six-time Ballon d'Or winner wept on Sunday as he bade farewell to his boyhood team after the club said it could no longer afford to keep him due to La Liga's fair play rules. The PSG front line is already formidable, with Messi's former Barca teammate Neymar and young France striker Kylian Mbappe seen as two of the best players on the planet. But the arrival of Messi, Barca's record goal scorer with 682 in 27 years, will boost the club's ambitions to win a first-ever Champions League. This now brings us to the end of TrustTV News Update. For latest news, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all social media handles. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for watching.